So I'm doing some reflecting right now, and I just thought I'd share a message because it seems very relevant to what is going on in the collective and the energies that I'm feeling. So again, we are in Leo season, and it really feels like the fire has been cranked up. The heat has been turned up in our lives, and we are starting to, and again, I had made a post or whatever, and I just said in the caption that if you have gone through your trial by fire, then things will be easier for you. Like, you'll be able to cope better because you have gone through your own personal hell. You have gone through those lower versions of yourself. Like, if you're on a personal healing journey and you're on a spiritual path, or just trying to better yourself, you're going to have to atone for what has transpired in the past. And this universe is always trying to create balance and equilibrium. And so if you have done something to somebody, or, those things that you think you got away with, you haven't really. And it's not because you've outsmarted the universe, but it's because there's always equilibrium that is being sought. So you may not see it directly in the way that maybe you had taken something or made life hell for somebody. Like, you may not see it in that way, but sure as hell you're going to, the universe will show you the other side of that, and maybe in a different form. So when I say things are getting turned up, things are getting turned up. And a lot of the stuff that people thought they could get away with, treating people poorly, bullying, that kind of nonsense, like thinking that they can elevate themselves by putting somebody else down. You're going to be surprised at what will be revealed, as well as what will happen, right? Like, it's nobody's business what happens to a next person. If you have experienced some shit from somebody, they've treated you like garbage, treated you like a low level, just have faith that, if you are living your own truth and you haven't done anything wrong, right, in the situation, then you got to trust that the universe will handle it. And you don't need to figure out how. You don't need to sort that out. Allow the universe to balance the scales for you, because it will come. And it'll be a rude awakening for those people that have shifted the blame. And and a lot of the thing is, when they're people don't like to look at their own inner demons and their shadows. So they like to shift the blame, and they like to shift a lot of shit onto other people. So instead of handling their anger and sadness and fear and resentment and guilt and all of those emotions that they have shoved in, okay, like, think of it as like you have a wound and you just basically put a plaster over it, right? Never cleaned the inside, never tended to what is underneath the Band-Aid. Just left the Band-Aid on, and it looks so then the Band-Aid finally falls off. It looks healed on the outside, but what you don't know is that there's something festering inside, that it really truly didn't heal the way it was supposed to, because you didn't tend to it. You didn't actually cleanse the wound. And so it's starting to tunnel, right? Like a wound gets bad enough if it doesn't heal properly, like you want it to heal from the inside out. And if it heals from the outside in, then there's a very big chance that there's an infection underneath there and that it can start to tunnel, and it's not a good thing. So you're wanting to make sure that you're properly tending to your wounds, but a lot of us don't. And so we have all these plasters or band-aids over top of us with all these wounds that we've received over our lives. And it looks like all these things are healed, but a lot of us have had these things happen to us and we've just allowed it to fester. And so what's happening now is when we've allowed it to, just to be concealed, and it's been, had the appearance of it being healed, it comes out in different ways, right? It tunnels into different things and different aspects and areas of your life. So if you have these other inner issues and demons, and you've got these other things that you've never dealt with, or these people that have never dealt with their issues, they're going to bleed onto, and they're going to project onto you their pain that they've been experiencing. And it might make them feel good in the instant. And it might feel good for however long. But there will come a point where you have to deal with it. You can't keep going forever and ever and ever and not think that that's going to poison you. Right? Eventually, as much as you're leaking out onto the outside, eventually you're poisoning yourself from the inside. That's why you tend to your wounds and you tend to your inner demons, because eventually you're going to hurt yourself. And we all have inner demons, and we all have our things that we need to work on. But it's acknowledging those things that are festering. Acknowledging and admitting that maybe we haven't actually properly dealt with it. And maybe we have hurt people unintentionally. But it takes acknowledging that you have pain to begin with. So the heat is being cranked up, the temperature is being raised, and we're being asked to really, really flush out our system of all the shit that we have let linger for so long. And if people don't want to tend to their crap, then it's time to let them go. It's time to see once and for all, like if somebody has red flags, and there's been red flags for a while, believe it. Because the universe has been trying to show you. And a lot of times we just, again, we're creatures of comfort. And we don't want to admit when things are not the way that they appear to be. And that's fine. But it doesn't allow us to be happy. It doesn't allow us to enjoy our life really and truly and fully. Like if we're still steeping in the soup of like a low vibe soup, when you're trying to like raise yourself up, right? When you're that dumpling in that soup and you're rising to the top, like the vegetables are great, but you have a different mission. You're here for something different. And so you've come to the top, and eventually like that's not going to satiate you being in that soup. Weird analogies today, but I think it makes sense. So this weekend, just be mindful. Just be mindful, okay? If you've done the inner work, if you have gone through your own hell, like I have, and a lot of us have, don't worry about it. Now, if you haven't done the work and you've just been putting shit off and throwing crap on other people, it's high time that you actually take accountability for your own part in your life and in the potential harming of other people. Because we're here to move beyond that kind of energy. Don't you want to live and not, I don't know, it just doesn't seem like fun to thrive in that. Like, you can't thrive in that sort of energy. You're just existing. And to try to pull people down to your level because you're just existing, it doesn't really elevate you. You got to do that for yourself. And people don't realize. So, take care. Have a good one. And till next time.